Hello and welcome to another Spindas Pokemon ORAS Wi-Fi battle. Today I'm bringing you another match against Getsuga. I have no idea how to pronounce that. But anyway, using a team I've been using for quite a while now, and it's been having really good results. I mean, this is a pretty good match. In fact, it took 54 turns, so I had to speed the footage up, as you can see here, quite a bit to make sure I could actually fit it into a decent time limit for YouTube. Anyway, so he leads off with his Landorus and I lead off with my Arcanine. We both intimidate each other, and he just makes the play and goes straight for the U-turn. And that's quite a sizable chunk of damage, so I'm thinking maybe Scarf the choice band rather than the more bulky version. So he does make the play and go into the Slowpoke, and I just go for the Will-O-Wisp to try and get the burn on something and just hope this thing hasn't got rest. And but I knew there was an Umbreon in the back, so I go for the Snarl knowing it would be super effective damage and make sure he couldn't damage me as much with a Scald or whatever he wanted to do. But he does go for Toxic, and that's not really good because this is a bulky Arcanine set, not an attacking one. So I'm thinking here, okay, it's probably about time I withdraw here or see what he does. So basically, I stay in again to see exactly what he's doing. So he decides to slack off, and I just go for the Roar to try and get him out of here. So he does go into the Umbreon here, and then I'm taking more and more toxic damage. So it's about time for me to switch out into my Sylveon because I know these things can toxic me, but I do carry the Heal Bell on my Sylveon, so I feel pretty happy switching it in. But he does go for the Protect, so I made the right play there. So here we basically just start copying each other. I go the Hyper Voice after he goes for the Wish. And I really wish I had Calm Mind on something here, because I was thinking it could be the Wish Protect set. But he goes for the Heal Bell, and I believe I do the same thing. Yeah, we basically just start copycatting each other here. He goes for the Heal Bell, I go for the Heal Bell. He goes for the Wish, I go for the Wish, etc. So he just withdraw and ends up going into his Gengar, and I believe I do go for the Hyper Voice here just to try and get some kind of damage. And obviously it does nothing to this Gengar. So me predicting the Sludge Bomb, I go into Bezuso here, the Steel type, to take that quite well. But he doesn't go for Taunt, so it means I can't set up Stealth Rock or Thunder Wave, so I've got no choice but to go for an attack. So I believe I go for the Earthquake here, predicting a switch into something. No, I go for the Ice Punch, sorry. And of course hitting that Slowbro, and it's going to do nothing. So I take damage from the Rocky Helmet, and I really don't want to hang around to keep getting hit from that. So I do go into my Specially Defensive War, which is my Sylveon, and he goes for the Scalp here. Does about a quarter of my health, and that's with a crit as well, so I'm saying this thing is definitely a defensive build rather than any kind of, attacking build. So I'll go for the Hyper Voice, get a good chunk of damage with that critical hit, and he does go for the Psyshock, but as you're about to see here, it barely does anything to my Sylveon, so that's pretty good. I thought I can go for the Hyper Voice and damage whatever wants to switch in here. So he goes into the Rotom Heat, but I go for the Wish actually. So you start recovering leftovers, and here is an interesting play. He switches out into the Umbreon here, after I go for the Protect, Scout, and Move. Not sure why he wanted to go into the Umbreon here, so he goes for the Wish, as I just make the play and go for the Hyper Voice. So I'm not sure why he did that, maybe just scouting my move, maybe predicting me to switch. So yet again he predicts me to switch, and he just go into the Landorus here. But I also switch out at the same time, and with me being slower, so I'm not the first one to switch out, I take what switches in is my Bezuso, which doesn't take any Intimidate damage. And he goes for the Earthquake here, and I'm like, okay, this is my chance to get the Ice Punch off. So we'll go straight for the Ice Punch, and that's a clean one-hit KO with that 4 times weakness. So that's that really annoying defensive wall out of the way. So I was really glad to see that go. So in comes one of the biggest threats in the game, in my opinion, Mega Lopunny. So I'm like, okay, this is going to fake me out. So I get the Intimidate to take the defenses down, and if I can live and attack with this thing, I was thinking, okay, this is my chance to get the Willow on. Let's see how smart this guy is using his Mega Lopunny. So it goes for the fake out. I'll take a decent chunk of damage, and he does decide to withdraw. And I believe he goes into his Rotom Heat, protecting Will-O-Wisp, so good on his part. So he goes for the Protect here to start scouting out what exactly I want to do, and I do go for the Snarl here. So he does withdraw, and I believe I make the play and go for the Roar here. Yep, I make the play and go for the Roar. The idea is with this set, it works in combination with my Bezuso, get Stealth Rocks up, keep rolling them out, etc, etc. So it goes for the Protect again, I go for the Flamethrower, just try and get some damage on this thing. So he stays in, Thunderbolts me, activates my Citrus Berry, nom nom nom, and and I believe I end up going for the roar again. I wanted something I could, switch in somewhat safely to. So I go for the Will-O-Wisp again, just to start trying to get chip damage on this thing. And he goes for the Slack off to recover his health. Didn't check if the set was a regenerator one, it could be an own temple one, but they usually carry regenerator, they're the better ones in my opinion. So he does withdraw the Slowpoke and goes straight in to the Umbreon again. And I go for the Snarl. And he takes that really well, predicting the Snarl of course. The minor special attack damage doesn't really affect this thing. I was predicting it's going to be a foul play set. You don't see special Umbreons that often. I've seen one or two, but that's about it. So I go into Bezuso here, because I just figured, okay, Bezuso's pretty much death fodder about now, or maybe I can get a wish off if I'm lucky later. So that foul play does a good chunk of damage considering how defensive I am. So he goes for the Protect again to recover leftovers, and I just go for the Stealth Rock here. So these Stealth Rocks do play a major part in the game, since he hasn't got a Rapid Spin or any, well, from what I can remember, any potential defoggers. So it goes for the Wish again, and of course it's more stall, and I make a really stupid play and go for the Thunder Wave. But of course, as you're about to see, has the Synchronize. And I keep thinking in a focus, honestly. I remember the hidden abilities better, and obviously it's better on most of the EV evolutions, so on their standard ability cuff. I actually have a Jolteon with Quick Feet instead of Full Absorb. I should really try and get even the ability capsule wouldn't help. I should really breed another one. But anyway, as you can see there, we're just starting to play stally shenanigans, wishing, etc, etc. Thunder waving, all the good stuff. I wanted that one turn where he could be paralysed. If I was already paralysed, and at the moment I just wanted death fodder, as I'm sure he could tell at this point. So he just switch into his low pony again. Obviously, no matter what damage I do cause to this thing. So I do manage to switch into Pretty Boy here, but I really didn't want to mess around, so I do switch and go into Bezuso here. And of course there comes the fake out damage, and I'm like, okay, this is the time for the Mega Bezuso to be sacrificed. But it goes to the Drain Punch, and I am glad to say it's not a high kick variant in one sense, but on another I'm not, because I could have tried to use some Protect shenanigans with my Sylveon maybe. So I do go into the Breloom to try and get the Mach Punch, because Breloom might be OU, but it's not all that common on Wi-Fi. But obviously I don't scare him out and go for the Spore, making the lot safer play. This guy was smart, I didn't want to underestimate him in any shape or form. So I'll go for the Rock Tomb, get the nice speed reducing this thing, but it does reveal a Citrus Berry. So I didn't get a Rotom to sleep. And this turn he does switch out here, obviously wanting to save the Rotom for later. It can take another round of Stealth Rock damage. So here she goes into the Mega Lopunny again, and I just go for the Rock Tomb wanting to finish this thing off, but obviously this thing is not going to be damaged by Rock Tomb. Here I just wanted to switch because I didn't want to take fake out damage, I didn't want to risk any chance of even outspeeding me with the speed drop. So go for the Intimidate again to take this fake out. And I make another stupid play. Goes for the Drain Punch, me not expecting to live. I live just with 12 health. And I'm thinking, okay, I should have went for the Will-O-Wisp. I don't know why I clicked roll, that was just a bad play. But, you know, everybody makes mistakes, I suppose. I wasn't expecting to live. So here, just to finish off this Rotom, revealed it's probably not a Scarf version, obviously, because it was the Citrus Berry. And I'm glad that thing's out the way. So back into the Lopunny, I'm not wanting to switch or anything, so you should just go for the Drain. I mean, he goes for the Drain Punch, sorry. Which is a better move, just in case I did decide I wanted to switch, but no way. So I go into Alakazam, because she was scared off by the Breloom. I keep saying she, I'm just assuming because it's a Lopunny. So anyway, I do make the play and go for the Side Shock. The better play would have been go with Dazzling Gleam, damage whatever goes in. But I just wanted as much damage on this thing as I can, because I know these things are surprisingly bulky for a sweeper. So go for the Dazzling Gleam, get a decent hit on this Umbreon, but it goes for the foul play and nearly kills me. I would have lived anyway because I am a Focus Sash variant, but I want to save Alakazam for later on. I'm thinking it could be useful. So who doesn't mind taking a foul play? My Sylveon, of course. But it gets paralysed, thank God. And I'm not sure which play I make here. I can't remember if I go for the Wish or the Hyper Voice. So I do go for the Hyper Voice. And that is a good amount of damage. I'm really surprised that wasn't a crit. So more Lefty's recovery, goes for the Protect. I just keep going for the Hyper Voice because I want this thing out of the way. And obviously I believe he wants to try and save this thing. Oh no, he doesn't. He goes for the Hyper Voice. I would have tried to save it, I would have switched into Gengar at this rate, but I suppose so, it's different plays. So, I didn't really want to switch out here or predict anything, as you can see. So, goes for the Sludge Bomb, that does a huge chunk in damage to my Sylveon. Go for the Hyper Voice, and it doesn't kill. I keep thinking Gengars are really frail, but they can take a Hyper Voice, especially when I haven't gotten special attack investment. I didn't really want to switch it at this point, I couldn't really think of any use for my special wall, so down goes poor old Sylveon. So I go into the Alakazam. I know I've got the outspeed, so this is a safe Psyshock without that Umbreon being around anymore. Finishes off the Gengar, and now we're entering the final turn of the battle. At this point, unfortunately, Alakazam is going to have to be the sacrifice to this Lopunny. Fake out hits, fake out hurts, and of course kills my Alakazam. Then we go into the Mushroom here, and I'm thinking, okay, does he really want to switch anything? And the answer is nope. The Mach Punch does kill. I'm really glad I went for the Spore on that other turn, or he probably would have switched. So in comes the Slowpoke, and I pretty much have this game here. If I go for the Spore. And I'm feeling confident as long as he doesn't wake up too quickly. Cause I do have the Seed Bomb here, and that's going to cause good damage to this thing. Nearly takes it out there and then, but goes for the Psyshock. But I'm not worried at this point. I'm going to live, and basically that's the match right there. So I hope you enjoyed it today. Probably not the best commentary, and if you want, leave a like, even subscribe if you like, and stay tuned for more videos in the future. Thank you guys, and peace out.